Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to an evening of Telstar High School varsity basketball. Tonight has our Telstar Rebels facing off against the Richmond Bobcats. And now for your starting lineups. For Richmond, we'll start with freshman number 2, Maddie Cassidy. Sophomore number 3, Ella Brand. Sophomore number 13, Olivia Mason. Senior number 5, Emma Valley. And senior number 23, Darby Flanagan. Let's make some hometown noise for these Rebels. Starting off with sophomore number 14, Addie Kimball. Sophomore number 13, Emma McPherson. Junior number 12, Kelly Campbell. Junior number 4, Viv Charette. And senior number 15, Harry Smith. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, I ask you to rise and remove your headgear for the playing of our national anthem. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, get your raffle tickets out. The Comfy Bum Couch raffle is up in the air. And the winner is ticket number 2701098.
All right, good evening, everybody, and welcome. We are here tonight for a high school varsity basketball game between the Telstar Rebels and the Richmond Bobcats.
She only bought one this time.
And Mike's kids won the raffle again for the company seat.
But they only bought one ticket this time, so that one's impressive.
So today's January 24th. It's been over a month since we were here for a home game.
Some of us.
We haven't had any home game. Oh,
Yeah,
girls,
I did a girls game
game
all by myself.
So this is the first boys-girls doubleheader since before Christmas. I think our girls are still searching for their first victory of the season. Richmond, I don't know much about. But I'm joined here by Andy Whitney, Mike Pelletier. Josh is behind the scenes working the camera. Western Hills Access Television and YouTube. And we are tipped off and ready to roll.
See the Rebels starting in the zone there.
That was number 13.
So,
Mason.
Danny, the Rebels did win their JV game. I don't even know what day it was, but when we went to Rangeley, they had a really nice game. And I've been going to all the away games and sitting on the bench with Ryan during the varsity boys games, and they are improving.
Yeah, and I do recall they played Rangeley here, and it was a very tight game as well. Rebels were down, the girls were down about 10, and they came back, and I think it was a one-possession game.
Yeah.
So, Richmond, at the start here, I think they started in like a 1-3-1 zone, but they look like they're a pretty good, well-coached team here. First couple of minutes. Bobcats are in some sort of a zone. I can't tell exactly what it is, Mike. Maybe an extended 2-3?
That's what it looked like to me. Josh, how are you hearing us? Can you tell? Are we good?
Yeah, it seems a little low, but
I don't mind. Rebels inbounding here. Bobcats up 3-0 early off a three-pointer by number 13, Olivia Mason. Charette to the basket. Rebels will retain possession.
Oh, Bill Russell right there, the block, almost retained possession. That's something he was known for.
You won't hear a lot of Bill Russell comparisons tonight, I don't think. But we got one at least.
You know.
One of the greatest winners of all time, Bill Russell. I'm going to go off on Bill Russell. Bill Russell won 11 NBA championships in 13 years, and one of the years that he didn't win, he was injured for the most of the season, so didn't play in the playoffs. So he was really 11 out of 12.
Think they'll ever see anything like that?
Never.
Another three there from Olivia Mason. She's 2 for 3 early. Yeah, Richmond is going to start in some sort of a 1-3-1 press. The Rebels were in a 2-3 zone that last possession. Another turnover here by the Rebels.
That's what Richmond was looking for.
Rebels remain in that 2-3 zone.
That girl's pretty tall.
Yeah. So the Rebels started...
She's actually really tall. She makes Addie look short.
That's another turnover for Telstar.
Rebels started senior Haley Smith, sophomore Addie Kimball, junior Viv Charette, sophomore Emma McPherson, and junior Katie Campbell.
And the Bobcats started Maddie Cassidy, Ella Briand, Emma Valley, Olivia Mason, and Darby Flanagan.
And so if we're looking for some positive here for the Rebels, is that they only have one senior in the starting lineup.
Haley's missed a few games due to that same nagging shoulder that she's had a problem with. This is her first game back in a little bit.
Rebels staying in that 2-3 zone.
That last attempt was by Emma McPherson there, just didn't quite fall.
Does it say how tall 23 is?
No, we do not have a height on. That would be Darby Flanagan is 23.
They're almost playing a 3-2.
I think it's a 3/4 court press.
Number 3.
I think it's a 1-2-2. In fact,
Ella?
Yeah.
Ella Briand.
Get in there, Haley. Yes.
Deep 2 there from number 15, Haley Smith for the Rebels. First bucket of the game. 8-2 here, halfway through the first period. Bobcats. Early on here, neither team looking to push. Both teams content with getting in the half-court set. Another turnover there for the Rebels.
Yeah.
But the Bobcats appear to be making a making it a point not to push, in fact.
Well, when they turn us over, they've obviously pushed. But other than that, it looks like they want to try to feed it into the number 23 or fire threes.
Yeah, 13 has fired a bunch. Good follow there. And that is
Olivia Mason.
Yeah, Olivia Mason. She has 8 of the first 10 here for the Bobcats.
Pretty efficient so far from the floor.
Yes, they are.
Oh, right around.
Nice job, Viv.
Yeah, great take there. Coach Ladner for the Bobcats did not like that one.
No, she just went right around the whole
team,
at least
yeah.
3 defenders there.
Good take by number 4, Viv Charette. Another 3 attempt here by the Bobcats.
I don't know what they, maybe I'm just old, but I was always told never give up baseline. And they gave up baseline there, no problem.
That was almost just a straight lane they gave up.
That's true.
Charette inbounding, McPherson bringing it up. Back
So,
to
yeah,
Charette.
they're in a 1-2-2, 3/4 court press. And that's how you break it. Get the ball in the middle. Tasia's in the ball game. Is that Chuck a Duck I see over there?
I think so.
I kind of like that game.
10-4, Bobcats in front. Again, Bobcats very methodical here. No rush at all. Just looking to
Patience.
get good shots.
Yeah, they seem content on shooting over the zone, which so far has worked for them.
I see 3 Whitney girls, 3 beautiful Whitney girls over there, Danny. Got the whole family here tonight?
Yeah, the family came to watch at least the first game, so.
Another 3.
And that was number 5, Emma Valley, with that attempt. She gets it back.
Yeah, that's the hard. It's sometimes difficult to rebound out of a 2-3 because you don't have your man. When you're in a man defense, you know who to rebound most of the time because they're right there with you.
So let's figure out how tall. You're absolutely right, Andy. Zones are tough to rebound out because you're not always marked up with somebody. I think Addie's 5'10".
Yeah,
And that girl, what do you think she is? 6 inches taller than Addie, if not more? She's tall.
And that was number 1.
Oh, nice play by
Buck. Checking out.
Nice play by the Bobcats. That was nice.
That was number 3, Ella Briand. So the Bobcats have
Another
12
turnover.
points. Here's number 13 again.
There you go, Addie.
Smith pitches ahead to
Maya Buck.
Back to Viv Charette. Back to Buck. Buck coming off the bench today. I think she started a couple games early in the year.
She's gone back and forth, yep. Tasia and Maya have come in off the bench.
Yeah, that last post pass, just too many people in the way there.
Oh, Tage.
Yeah, 23 just grabbed that board without even having to jump. Just towers over everybody. But the Rebels need to box her out, I think. And I think they can rebound around her. They just need to move her.
She looks young too. How old? Did she see what grade she's in?
She's a senior.
Okay.
I think though, you get a certain age, everyone starts to look young.
What are you trying to say, Andy?
Well, and don't worry, it's happening for me too.
Tasia with another good look.
And she says, like Bill Russell, get that stuff out of here.
Matumbo.
Waving the finger.
Yes.
Nice power dribble. Oh, yeah.
Good move there by Flanagan. That's her first bucket of the game, so she's made an impact on the defensive
It's not
end,
looking good, Danny. The family looks like they're bailing already.
It's probably a potty break if I had to guess.
They're not happy with the Rebels' first quarter performance. Tough critic. Oh.
Well,
There it is. If we see a finger wag, I'm out. Another 3 here.
That's off.
the bank wasn't open tonight, at least not yet.
Flanagan kept it alive.
Oh, that's a nice pass.
How are the Rebels going to handle this height in the middle of that zone?
They're not. I'm just gonna be honest with you. There's no answer. Addie's trying to box her out. She's doing it fundamentally, but she gives up too much height and too much strength.
We might have to give Coach Newell a little message to get to the referees to watch for the 3 seconds, though. She's camping out a little bit.
I don't know if Coach Kimball could box her out.
So after the first period, Bobcats ahead 14-4. Western Hills Access Television, YouTube TV. I'm Danny Whitney, joined by Mike Pelletier, Andy Whitney, and Josh Morton on the camera. And doing all the sounds tonight, he's by himself in the background. So, what are we seeing early on? The height is a problem, and the threes are a problem.
Yeah, and defensively, that 1-2-2 3/4 court pressure is a problem. They've created a lot of turnovers, turning into points.
Well, while we have a quick break, I do want to see if Josh could scan over to the sponsors on the wall there. We have some new banners that support the boosters. And Mike, do you want to add to that a little bit?
Yes, all the local businesses. I think it took me like a couple hours. All 21 businesses I approached to support the kids for boosters all said yes, and I think we're shooting for another 19 now, so we have an even 40 up there. But it's nice of them to contribute. We have 6 more to hang. Try to get them up before Monday's game, and it's a nice new tradition we're starting here at Telstar.
Yeah. So thank you to all those businesses and the boosters. Boosters thank them as well. That's going to be a good source of revenue for the kids in the future.
Absolutely.
So. And the banners look great too, actually.
They do. I like the colors. Perfect Stitch, they're one of the banners up there. They're a company out of South Paris. Does a lot of our embroidery and our rec basketball T-shirts. They did all the banners. They did a great job.
And Mike, while you were talking, we just actually locked down another banner. I've been texted that Mainline Products would like to do a banner.
Okay, so for that banner, it's going to be twice the fee. So we'll talk to you about that. We'll send the invoice out as quick as we can.
They might be listening. I'm not really sure.
Well, I'm sure they are if they texted Danny. They're loving the Bill Russell comments. We'll start talking Gunsmoke at halftime.
That's probably what they'll be flipping.
No, I was talking to your mother about it. For real, we're Gunsmoke junkies.
Another 3 attempt there by number 13, Olivia Mason. She's the leading scorer.
She's just too much.
Yeah, another bucket. She only has 4 points, but like you said, she's controlling the game.
She's had 4 blocks, probably 4 points,
and that came on a third chance opportunity right there, which the Rebels definitely can't afford to give those up.
I think the Rebels can use the baseline. Flanagan's coming way up, and if they can get to the baseline,
nice job to me.
They can beat her off the dribble.
So, guys, I've seen the girls play a little bit more and more recent than the two of you. Are you seeing an improvement though in their game? Like they're moving the ball around better. They seem like their defense is much better. They've gotten better at that 2-3. There's a nice power dribble and
Yeah, I feel like this. And did they play this team earlier in the year?
At Richmond, we went to Richmond.
And I wasn't there, but it seems like this game would be even further apart.
Absolutely.
A month ago.
Yeah. There's still a few adjustments. I'm not sure screening the top of his zone there.
Take that, Danny.
All that productive. But who is that?
Number 2.
That was Katie.
Oh, 12, excuse me.
Oh, 12, Katie Campbell. Yeah, they're offensively.
They're more organized. They're getting better.
Yeah, offensively they've scored more points in this half than many of the other halves I've watched. So. Coach Newell's going to take a timeout here. 18-8. Bobcats on top. 2 minutes into the second period. We have Chris Gorham as one of the officials tonight. He's a mainstay here. See him a lot. I'm not sure who the other one is, but I've seen him before.
Well, they look like they've been around.
A little concerned why Chris is sitting on our comfy couch, but he is getting older.
So, the Rebels have been in the 2-3 zone, but if they continue to trail, how long are they going to stay in that zone?
They will stay in that zone all game.
Okay.
So I mentioned rec basketball program starts tomorrow, 8 a.m. Kindergarten through first grade, first of 10 weeks.
Yeah. And any parents that are listening that have young kids, or what are the ages for that?
It's kindergarten through 8th grade, all different time slots. So kindergarten and 1st grade is 8 to 9, 2nd and 3rd is 9 to 10, 4th and 5th is 10 to 11, and then middle school is 11 to 12. The first 2 weeks are just tryouts, not tryouts, but just making teams, skills and drills. And then after that, the times change for games, and we play 6 weeks of games, ending with championship Saturday. The gym will have, there'll be 100 kids between all the high school kids that help coach and all the kids that play tomorrow.
And is that right here at Telstar?
Right here. This is my 20th year.
So any parents that are listening that can have kids who are interested, definitely get them out. That's how you build a program.
It's grown so much, and now it's really a lot of fun on Saturdays. Watching the high school boys and girls coach the little kids. As they age out, then they become coaches. They get their community service hours, and it's just a day of everybody volunteering, giving their time, and it's about as pure as basketball can be. It's co-ed. You watch someone score their first hoop of their life, and you just see the smile on their face, and the parents go crazy. No one's arguing with the officials because I am the official, and we just don't have it. No, it's not about that. And there she goes again.
And I don't know. You said the high school kids coach that.
So there will be tomorrow probably 10 to 15 high school kids, boys and girls, that volunteer every single Saturday. They show up here around 7:45 every Saturday all winter long to coach the kids.
Nice.
And we give coaches awards to the best coach for each age bracket. And Championship Saturday is fun. Lots of trophies, lots of awards. We have a skills contest. We're going to film it this year. That's what Josh owes us for doing all these games. They're going to film it. Championship Saturday.
Well, there's no better way sometimes than to improve on your own game than to be able to watch it on film.
We have a visitor. How can I help you, Connor? Say hello. Say hello to the thousands of listeners.
Hello.
Say thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening.
How can I help you?
Are you doing takeout?
I'd love to, but you took all my money. I got to do my job.
Well, they've struggled the last few possessions with that outside shot, which has kept the Rebels somewhat in this game.
Yeah, if the Rebels can just continue to get a bucket here or there. Yeah, we're going to get a moving screen there, I think, on Viv Charette.
Yeah.
But we talked about it on one of their games earlier in the season, Mike, and it's rec program and just working at home. That's really where you develop your dribbling and those sorts of skills. Practice is more of a time for the team to get better. Your individual skills need to come out of practice time.
Your team improves during the season. Your individual skills get better during the off season and on your own.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that the high school kids are helping with that.
It really is special. I like it. Pete Hedden told me his son played, so Riley played way back when he was in 1st grade, 2nd grade, and now he helps coach. But Pete Hedden told me a few years ago, in his opinion, it's might be the best thing that this community does for their kids. So that took a lot of pride. It's just special. The gym is packed.
And I've always found that I tended to learn more in that teacher coaching role sometimes. So that's why I think it's extra good to have the high school kids
to watch
there.
some of our kids that are really, really into it as coaches. It's like, wait a minute, you were saying all the right things. How come we don't play this way?
Right.
For real. It's like, right. So, and if they're listening.
That last three there for the Bobcats was number 5, Emma Bally. And then the last bucket for them was Ella Breon.
Again, that came off a turnover by the Rebels.
A couple of fouls here for the Bobcats. Off the ball.
A little bit of unfortunate news for the boys' game coming up. Speaking of Pete Hedden and his son Riley, I think their whole household has been battling illness all week, and finally Riley got it. So Riley will not be here to play today.
That's too bad.
So he may be listening. Riley, you will be missed.
Yeah, that's a big loss for the Rebels. He probably leads them in three-pointers made, I think.
He had 7 against Rangeley, let's say Tuesday. I don't remember when he went, but Tuesday something.
25-8, Bobcats on top here, 2.5 minutes to play in the second. And while we're talking about the boys' game, if we can preview that just a little bit here, played Richmond a couple weeks ago and lost a tight one.
Close game. We got in foul trouble. We gave up 46 points, and if you would have told me before the game started that we'd give up 46 points and lose, I would have told you that you're wrong, but I was wrong. We lost, I think, 46-43. Riley had 1 point in that game. Brody, big score, I think he had 5 points in that game, was in foul trouble.
Yeah.
So we'll see what can happen today. We've changed our style a bit. We're going to see a lot of up-tempo. We'll be pressing the entire game.
Yeah.
Full court man the entire game.
So for those listening at home, that game will be right after this, about 7 o'clock. And we expect, even without Riley, we expect that to be a good game.
It's going to be a good game, yeah.
Just had Coach Pelletier, Steve, walk into the building, gave us a wave. And he's been, I think, a part of that rec program you talked about.
Not really, not so much.
But he's the middle school.
He's a middle school coach, the middle school varsity coach. He is a part of it because he taught me.
And he's been helping the high school a little bit, right?
We've had him come in. We've had him come in a bunch this week and the end of last week, and work on full court, man to man with different wrinkles to it.
That was Campbell for the Rebels with 2 points.
And we talked about this a little. I want to talk about it more later, but Coach Kimball's really drawn from a whole bunch of different coaches for this year. And you, Coach Steve Pelletier, and then Coach Thurlow as well.
Takes a village.
I think Coach Thurlow worked with them on the 1-3-1.
Yeah.
Another 3 attempt there by number 5, Emma Valley. So the Bobcats, I mean, they've got 25 points. They've made some threes, but they've shot a lot. They're probably only shooting about 25%, would be my guess.
They're getting multiple opportunities, too, with obviously the height advantage we've talked about in the middle there. And she's actually on the bench right now. But 44, who's checked in, is also, she's quite tall there. Maura Griffin there for the Bobcats.
Good up and under there by number 5 for the Rebels. Should know her.
Maya Buck.
Riley Cooper.
Oh, sorry.
Rebels will get to the line for the first time. 25-10, a minute to play here. 55 seconds to play here in the second period. I think we have 3, I think the girls and boys have 3 home games next week that I think will all be televised. Yep, confirming that. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I think.
That sounds right.
So, look to join us then. We're coming down the home stretch, especially for the boys with the playoff run. So big games coming up.
I believe we only have 4 games left.
Okay.
No, 5. We have 1 on the road against Karabec and then 1 against Vinyl Haven that got weathered out. The boys went all the way to Rockland, spent the night, got up in the morning to take the ferry over just to have it canceled because had they gotten over, they may not have gotten back.
Yeah, that's tough. They had back-to-back weekends with Island games, I think. Right?
I went the first weekend to what's the other one called? North Haven. Yeah. It was an experience. It was fun. People out there were great.
And I think I heard that the whole school has like 11 people or something. And
24 people.
11 boys maybe.
Right, 24 kids in the whole entire high school, and all but one play either girls or boys basketball, and the one that doesn't play is the manager. I'm so glad I went. It was very unique.
Good job by Tasia. Tasia?
Yeah.
So the Rebels on that last possession, I think, shot the first free throws of the game. The last free throw didn't count because of a lane violation on the Rebels. And then I noticed on that last possession, the Rebels seemed to be really trying to deny the ball underneath. That to me is kind of the only way to stop somebody when they've got that kind of height advantage on you. What are your thoughts on that?
I think it's hard to do it with the zone, but you play one behind, and then you dig from the guard, from wherever the ball is entered to her. Yep. That player leaves their player, and they go and double and dig. It's called the guard drop and dig, and so they're basically doubling her every time she gets the ball.
Okay. And they're coming now. When that guard comes down, are they coming down? They're coming down from the kind of in the front.
Well, kind of wherever the pass comes. So if the pass comes from the long corner, she'd just turn around and chase the ball and try to cause as much chaos as she can. If it comes from the wing, the upper girl would come down.
Good job there by the Rebels to get that shot off. So at the half, 25-10 Bobcats on top. We're going to step away here for a few moments. Again, I'm Danny Whitney, joined by Mike Pelletier, Andy Whitney, Josh Morton on the cameras. And we're here on Western Hills Access Television and YouTube. And we will be back in a few minutes for the second half. See you then.
You're requested.
Chuck those ducks. Hey, chuck those ducks. Go for the basket. Who's the early bird? Is everybody ready? 1, 2, 3, chuck those ducks. We have our very first ever duck in the basket. Hope that counts in this game.
Hey, Biz. drained it, but then again, then we would have definitely had to vacuum it.
Oh, okay, we're back.
All right, we're back here. Western Hills Access Television, YouTube. We have the Richmond Bobcats versus the Telstar Rebels in a high school varsity girls basketball game. I am Danny Whitney, joined by Andy Whitney, Mike Pelletier, Josh Morton on the camera. 25-10, Bobcats dominated that first half. Andy with number 23 down low, Flanagan. and outside threes mostly. And the Rebels had a little trouble with the zone.
Yeah, Olivia Mason looks like was leading the Bobcats with scoring right now. I've unofficially got her at 8.
Yeah, I got Flanagan at 8 too, so they're both
okay
right there.
Well, I must be missing a few for Flanagan. So
Rebels go snag one right off the bat. They force a turnover.
Richmond's still in that press.
And now they're falling back into a 2-3 now, whereas before they were staying in that 1-2-2, which the Rebels had some chances to get baseline. That seems to be not the case anymore.
Yeah, I would think the 2-3 puts two people right along the baseline, plus your obviously your center's kind of baseline too. So
another 2 for Flanagan. Rebels staying in that 2-3, but they're still just not able to control Flanagan down there. Like we were saying, at some point here, even in the 2-3, we can still double. So maybe we can make that adjustment and just double her every time she gets the ball, or front her to keep her from getting the ball.
Yeah, they had a little success with that at the end of the last half, but if you're fronting them without the double team, then is the offense. You just have to throw it over the top, and with this height advantage, Richmond should be able to do that if they choose to.
Another 3 attempt there by number 5 for the Bobcats, Emma Valley.
And they're still in the press. The Rebels really got to focus on cutting back their turnovers.
27-10 now, Bobcats in front. A minute and a half into the third period. Rebels slowing it down a little bit here. Inside to Kimball.
He's getting a good triple team there. That they had the top guard come down and the wing defender both kind of shrink.
That's kind of what I was just talking to you about.
Yes. Yeah, that's what Telstar needs to do on Richmond.
Good ball movement there by the Rebels.
Get in there, Brady. Yeah.
The 14, Addie Kimball. And that was good. A couple of good quick passes there from the Rebels that made that shot possible. That's what you like to see, ball movement. I think if I was a coach, that would be one of the drills I would do on a daily basis. Would be passing the ball quickly, moving the ball. It wears down a defense, and it keeps everybody on the offense on their toes and ready to roll.
And that's something I think, hopefully, when they're reviewing the video, that you can see it. It's really easy for us up here to see when the ball's not moving and how it really slows everything down. When you're playing, for some people they can see it, but I think some people have a hard time seeing that when they're playing. But man, I don't know, it's real obvious when you're looking at it from up here.
It's pretty.
Oh wow.
It's the way the game's supposed to be played.
You get that. Rebels get away with a little bit of a slap there that we can hear up here, but we'll take the jump ball. Not sure what Chris was.
I wish the NBA would move the ball a little bit. Some teams still do it well, but man, I look at the highlights of the 80s and the early 90s with the Celtics and Larry Bird and McHale and that ball movement.
I'll warn you, just because I've been down this road, I'll warn you that you're about to spark a conversation that Mike thinks that the basketball today is the greatest that's ever been played.
Well, so. I don't know. Just the ball movement of those teams. I mean, I don't know.
Another bucket there by Addie Kimball.
So you're cherry picking one of the greatest teams of all time, the 1986 Celtics.
Yes.
And I can tell you every player on the roster, if you would like me to, they would beat any team ever assembled.
So I should rephrase that and say I would like to watch that team.
If you were to watch the entire league the way you see it now, you would say, oh my God.
Yes.
They would be destroyed by today's teams because of everybody is athletic, everybody has ball skills, everybody stretches the floor, everybody can dribble. There are players on that Celtics team that could only dribble with one hand. I'm being serious.
Yeah, no, I believe you. But with the good ball movement, they didn't have to dribble.
They didn't, and it's more than just ball movement, it's player movement too. If you just stand still,
right,
ball movement doesn't do your thing.
And that's another thing, again, that hopefully...
If you were to watch Golden State Warriors play, and you watch Steph Curry, who never stops moving, never stops moving, and tell me that you don't think that's pretty basketball, then I don't understand.
three attempt there from Flanagan. That's the first one we've seen from her.
I think pretty much everything about his game is about as smooth as I've ever seen anything.
He's one of my favorites all time. It's every Celtic that's ever played, and then Steph Curry.
Yeah.
Then Danny Whitney, and then Steph Curry.
Yeah. I don't know, sometimes I think he thinks he is Steph Curry.
Well, if you've watched any of our men's Sunday league, you would know that is certainly not the case. Our team is winless. So.
Well,
and we have probably definitely the best shooter from Telstar on the team.
One of the best shooters.
Sean
period.
Cadigan.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we're still winless. So it goes to show you that.
Did you see that? That was a nice move by 23.
14, Leo Hughes, watch, sub in.
Tasia coming in here for Kimball, giving Kimball a blow. She's had a good third quarter, leading the Rebels here in the second half points.
I think today's game on all levels, it's easy to pile on because they shoot so many threes.
yeah.
Was that an and one attempt? Did she make the
Yes, she
bucket?
did.
Yeah.
They shoot so many threes, and people just get especially when they're not going in, you get tired of watching it. But because of that three-pointer, the lanes, the floor is so much more open than it was in the 80s, like you're talking about. And then the 70s, before the three-point line came in, everybody was just packed in, and that was not a pretty brand of basketball.
Yeah, I never really knew a basketball without the three-point line. So
the spacing, so when you have centers that can shoot the three at 40%, and you have to bring that big out of the paint.
Right.
Like, I don't know if Shaquille O'Neal could play in today's game. Like, he couldn't guard. He could certainly play offensively, but he could not get out in the perimeter and guard people.
right. Yeah, Kristaps Porzingis would have a field day with that. Of course, what I get frustrated about is watching that game, and when Kristaps Porzingis has a guy who's 6'6" on him and he's 7'3", and he's standing
Doesn't
out
buzz him
there.
up, yeah.
That's when I
And that is frustrating.
Or when the threes aren't falling, what's wrong with then pushing it inside? I know the theory is keep shooting.
Okay, so isn't that if Sean's not making his threes in your game, do you say stop shooting, Sean?
No, but Sean's also then he's gonna
Because
attack.
Sean doesn't shoot enough anyways. He's the least
Right,
aggressive
that's right.
player I've ever seen in my life. I hope you're listening.
We should get him to listen.
Sean, here's the offense. You're going to shoot 70% of our shots. Does that sound good to you? No, I can't do that.
And I was talking to Coach Thurlow on Wednesday. I ran into him at the gas pump, and we were talking about that and the new brand of basketball was shooting all the threes. And he mentioned, I don't know these statistics exactly, but it's something like if you shoot 30% from the three-point line, you're better off statistically than shooting 50% from two-point.
It's 33%.
33% from three-point.
It's better.
And is it 50% from
Yes.
from 2
Yes.
points?
Yeah.
Another bucket there from Flanagan.
And these teams shoot better than that.
Right. Yeah, and they track all that, obviously. So.
Analytics is why the game has changed so much. I mean, if we're talking a lot of NBA basketball here during a high school varsity girls game, but if playing the old style would win, some coach would play that style and they would win, but it doesn't. Like it or not, it changed, and I know some of us up here don't love change, but that's the way it is.
And yeah, we're talking NBA basketball, but it all does trickle down.
It does.
Things trickle up and down. So
Absolutely. So you were saying Richmond, so 25%. If they shot nothing but threes at 25%, they're not going to shoot. That would probably be about 44% from the field, equivalent of 45. They're not going to shoot that well from the field.
Right.
So they might as well shoot 25% from threes.
Right.
31-14 here, Richmond on top. A minute and a half to play in the third period.
Yeah, they've settled back into a half-court defense here, it looks like. Well, standing up a little bit now, now that I said that.
I think they're playing man right now. Well, no, they're still in the zone.
I think they were just bringing those guards up on that 2-3 to make the Rebels feel a little pressure.
That's not a foul, Chris. Why? Oops, I can't say that. Chris, good call, Chris.
Coach Newell questioning that call as well. 44 checking in for the Bobcats, Maura Griffin, and she'll give Darby Flanagan a blow here. Kimball getting ready to check back in for the Rebels.
And one other, number 3.
See number 3.
Quinn Coolidge coming back in for the Rebels here shortly.
Rebels staying in that 2-3 like we've been discussing.
Now, are the Rebels doing this just so they can work on it at this point? Just something for them to build on?
They're 2-3 zone?
Yes.
I just don't. Nice job, Tasia. I don't think Coach thinks. I don't know. He plays a lot of zone. I'd want to challenge him and get him playing man and when you're man-to-man defense. If you can't play good man-to-man, then you're really probably not going to be able to play good zone.
Yeah. Katie Campbell back to the line here, to the line for the Rebels.
So what we did with the boys, they were struggling with their man-to-man defense, and we still struggle at times. But since we last played here, we started to shrink the court and get back to our fundamentals and our man-to-man defense, getting in the stance, not leaving the ground. We'll see how they do it. Staying in the stance, not reaching, showing your hands, being wide. And then once we felt like they were perfecting that in the quarter court and just barely extended past the three-point line, now we've stretched it out and using those same fundamentals in the full court. And tonight you're going to see a lot of layups given up, more than likely, but you're hopefully going to see a lot of turnovers.
Yeah.
And it helps the offense, because it makes we're thinking less about offense and just playing. You don't have time to worry about it because it's just going to be up and down the floor.
And you're talking about when you're creating that turnover.
We're going to be playing 75 or 100 this entire game.
And for the listeners, that's 75 and 100 are three-quarter court and full court presses, essentially.
Correct.
That mentality, good defense creates easy offense.
Yes.
You can't beat that sometimes.
After 3 quarters here, the Bobcats are on top, 31-14 over the Rebels. 1 quarter to play here in tonight's high school varsity doubleheader, featuring the Richmond Bobcats and the Telstar Rebels. Again, the boys play directly following this game at about 7 o'clock. I'm Danny Whitney, joined by Andy Whitney, Mike Pelletier, Josh Morton. We're here on Western Hills Access Television and YouTube.
I've got a fan that's going to ask me if I need anything from town on their way in. Thank you, DJ. Get me a coffee. So there are athletes in all sports that change the game, like for the kids and their influence. And can you think of someone, Danny? Andy?
Steph Curry.
Thanks for stealing my thunder, Danny. We work together 10 hours a day, so he knows my thoughts. I can do it right back to him. So Michael Jordan obviously changed.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
And Steph Curry maybe changed the game more than Michael Jordan, because not everybody can be like Michael because of his physical abilities. But people think everyone can be like Steph. He's 6'3". He's not the fastest. He's not the strongest, but he can shoot. And so he's made every little kid want to be a shooter.
And I think I mentioned Tiger, but Tiger changed the game so much that it ended up pushing him out of the game.
Yes, yeah.
Because he made, so many people wanted to be like him and be an athlete and play golf that once he started to break down a little bit physically, he could no longer keep up.
No.
Whereas if he was still playing in the 70s, he might be able to.
That's well said. I agree with that.
Now, if you want to talk about players who made me think I could play the game, then we'd have to go to Muggsy Bogues or Spud Webb or someone like that, because I never quite hit the 6 foot mark.
You did not, but you also could not jump like them. And without that jumping ability, they couldn't play.
But I always wonder about how much of that did they train? Some of it I'm sure is natural, but you see people doing things now that it's like, are they training to be able to jump higher?
Training does help, but Larry Bird was never going to jump like Muggsy Bogues, no matter how much he trained.
No, but he was 6'8" and could shoot.
Larry Bird 6'9", but it didn't matter. He just some of it is God-given ability.
Bobcats running through their offense here. Just very meticulous, as they have been all night. Not afraid to use up the clock.
Yeah, and obviously, yeah, they're going to take their time and get the shot they want here.
It's really, for a 15-point game, it's really quite interesting how few fast breaks the Bobcats have had. I mean, typically when you have a little bit of a lopsided game, one team is getting a lot of fast breaks and a lot of layups, and that hasn't been the case tonight. And I don't think it's. I think it's just strategy mostly. The Bobcats just have no interest in pushing.
They did, again, probably because of their size, and they want to get it down low. When they were playing their 1-2-2, they were getting layups off from turnovers, but that's about it. They haven't gone full court, Danny. You're right. They haven't gone a rebound and gone coast to coast. Boys, I'm going to leave you. I'm going to go in the locker room and talk to our boys, and hopefully we have a good game coming up.
Yeah, well, good luck.
We're going to shoot a lot of threes for Danny. No, I'm, believe it or not, I am getting to the hole guy. I want to get to the rim.
Well, obviously we know when Riley's not going to be there, so there's got other guys are going to have to step up. And I have all the confidence in the world that guys like Dupre and Connor, and Marshall and Brody
Brody's
can
playing
step
well.
up.
And real quick before you go, I'm going to put you on the spot. We did this to Coach Kimball a few weeks ago, but the boys team, the Rebels, will win tonight if
they box out. Do not let their emotions get the best of them. Just always move on to what's next, the next play, and stay out of foul trouble.
Alrighty. Well, thank you for joining us for a little bit.
Yes, this will actually be my last broadcast. I had a nice time. Josh, thanks for letting me do this. I'll share a quick story because this is why I have Danny in the office with me, because I'm not that bright sometimes. So I was at a fundraiser, and a friend of mine and I we were doing an auction for a trip, and we thought it was a trip to Panama. So we bid a fair amount of money, and we ended up winning that trip. And we're all excited, think we're going to Panama. You know, this is so cool. So about a month later, we called the book, and I leave for Panama City, Florida, Sunday, and I'm gone for a week. So I'll miss all next week's games, and then after that, I think the home games are over. So
I don't know. Is there snow there?
There is snow there, yeah. Panama City, Florida. I thought we were going to the Panama Canal, but nope. Panama City, Florida. That's why I have Danny read everything for me. Like, Danny, read the fine print. Tell me.
At least you figured it out now.
Yeah, exactly. That would have been worse. Like, where's the resort? Thanks, guys.
All right. See ya.
See you, Mike.
All right, see ya.
All right, the Bobcats back in that half-court offense here. Again, just working it around. Back into Flanagan. Another bucket for Flanagan. Big game from her. She is in double figures. She is the leading scorer for the Bobcats with 16 now. I have her unofficially at 16 points. So big game for Flanagan. And apologize if there's some shuffling in the background. We're just resituating now, and that we have a little more room in the booth.
Yeah, we don't.
Nice shot there by number 15 for the Rebels.
We'll have to bring it up with the producers on maybe improving the booth down the road here.
Well, we did mention it
At
on
least we have
air.
a safety rail now. We didn't. There was a time when we didn't have anything here, so
We did mention that on air in one of our earlier broadcasts, and the superintendent did express some interest in getting that in the budget for us. So we'll see if that happens or not.
Well, I mean, I think we all know what the budget looks like. I don't see why they can't. So.
35-16 here, Bobcats on top, about halfway through the fourth period. Again, this is a varsity doubleheader between the Richmond Bobcats and the Telstar Rebels. And the boys play directly following this game, about 7 o'clock. You can see some...
Nice turn. That's 23, I believe. Bailey Dunham for the Rebels.
It's her first bucket of the game, I believe. Some new faces here entering the gym for the boys' game.
It's going to be... Somebody lost their glasses here in the corner.
Yeah, see if she can get those fixed. I see he might be a current girls middle school coach, but Coach Dave Barry's over in the crowd.
I believe he is.
I think he's still coaching the middle school girls, so he's got interest in in the Rebels, and he's probably coached some of these girls previously. And Flanagan read that one this time. And
He's been coaching longer than most of the people have been alive.
That's true.
Certainly most of the students here, that's for sure.
And Flanagan with another block there. She's probably getting close to double-figure blocks, I think. So she may have a triple-double tonight, actually. Rebounds, points, and blocks. I wouldn't be surprised. She obviously has more than 10 points.
Yep.
I'm sure she has 10 boards, and she's going to get close to 10 blocks. So another 3 there from Olivia Mason, number 13 for the Bobcats.
She's got quite a few points here now, too.
I have her at 11. 3 threes and a 2. (38-18), Bobcats in front. I see former Crescent Park Elementary School basketball assistant coach Barb Russell over there, gym teacher, PE teacher. She used to coach a little basketball.
She spent a lot of time in this gym for sure. I usually here when I'm here, so she's still a devout fan. Uh-oh.
We got an injury here, so maybe during this injury timeout we can have Brooks take one more peek. Josh take one more peek at those sponsors up on the wall. Thank you, Josh. And again, thank you to those sponsors. And we'll be adding a few more up there for next week. But all these businesses are supporting the boosters, which then supports all sports, not just basketball. The boosters supports all sports, and so it's really a good thing for the school.
Is there a contact person these folks should reach out to, or if they're listening and they want to sponsor?
If anybody's listening and they're interested in sponsoring, the best thing to do would probably be just email Queen Cut Painting Company, which you could search us on the web, or just email Queen Cut Painting Company, all spelled out, at Gmail. And just put boosters in the subject, and we can get you connected to the right person. But we are looking to add some more. And again, it goes all the money goes after the production of the banner. All the money goes right to the boosters, and again, that supports all the sports, uniforms, equipment for teams that need it. Just a good program. And then of course the Snack Shack that runs tonight, that's boosters. So shout out to any of those parents and volunteers who help run that. I think this and the football Snack Shack are their only fundraisers really, and then the banners. So. And
now are the banners a reoccurring sponsorship, or is it a one-time?
It's an each year. It's a fee of $250. But again, that money goes all to the boosters. And so you can renew as long as you want. It's a lot of schools do it, so we're glad that we can finally add ourselves to that. And maybe Josh, I'm sorry, I keep calling him Brooks, but while he's scanning around, we can check out the new banners on the wall for the championships as well.
We'll take this break.
Yeah, Queen Cut did the painting here. I believe that was donated, right, this past summer, and so all the banners were removed from the gym this summer, and they're obviously hanging some of them, new ones, back up.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure those banners were as old as the school.
Yeah, and John Elliott, the principal here, took that and they decided to consolidate. I think it was a good idea. It looks a lot better, and I think they still have some more to go up. But these look a lot better. We were getting a little too crowded with all the old ones. So.
Yes.
Good to see the Richmond player get up here.
Yeah, that's
over to the bench. That's Olivia Mason. She's been a key player for them, so hopefully she'll be all right.
Seemed like it was something with her knee. She heard her knee go, and the knees are always scary, especially if you hear a noise. I think sometimes it's more scary than it is painful. Anybody who's played sports kind of knows that.
And I think Josh was just looking at the banners underneath the championship banners, and those are all, I believe, seniors. I think those are all seniors, and so we have the boys on that side and some skiers too, and then same on the other side. So I'm not sure who was responsible for those, but those look good as well. And I think it's good to see Telstar getting on the map with some of these things that other schools have been doing for a long time.
Yeah. Now, do we know if the players get to keep these when they?
I would assume when you're a senior, you would get to take it home. We are back here right into Flanagan. Oh, good backdoor cut. Good left hand.
That was a little old school basketball right there.
That was a nice play. Number 3, Brian. She has 8 points now. And yeah, that was a great backdoor cut. Great look from Flanagan. Right over the top. Nice left hand. That was a great play. 40-18. Bobcats on top. 3 minutes to play here in the 4th. We're back after that little injury timeout.
Yeah, I'd like to see the Rebels just focus on, whatever their areas that Coach Newell thinks they need to improve on. This is time to do it right here.
And the Rebels draw a foul there. I don't think they're going to... they are going to say it was shooting. That's a little bit generous.
I think these are only going to be the 4th and 5th free throws of the game. Rebels are 0 for 2 from the line, and I believe the Bobcats are 0 for 1. They had an and one opportunity, and I believe they missed that one. But if anybody's counting at home and I'm wrong, well, you get what you pay for at this broadcast. So.
And 2 more misses there for the Rebels. Bobcats with it. Bobcats still pretty much have their, I guess they only have 8 players. I was gonna say they still have their starters in, or close to it, but they only have 8. So,
so 2 of them are gonna have to be in.
Yeah, it's gonna be their starters. So.
And obviously, Olivia Mason is the one that went down with the knee injury.
I think she was a starter, so they have at least 2 starters in.
Yeah, Olivia did start the game. She was one with I think you had her at about 11 points.
Into Flanagan, and good move, good spin.
So the Rebels tried to get in front, which is kind of what you have to do when you're guarding somebody that big. Obviously Coach Pelletier was in here earlier talking about having 2 people on there, but that's what happens when she gets in front and there's not the second person there. They just throw it over the top, and you get an easy 2 points.
Yeah, you got to have either that guard drop down or the other wing come over and help from behind. Bucket there from the Rebels.
Was 11. Lexi Indermule.
And Bobcats, again, I've been harping on it all night, but they just very, very slow bringing up, and it's worked for them. Flanagan at the top of the key.
Had the back just late with the pass there.
But the Bobcats do a nice job of finding those back cuts. I've seen at least 3 or 4 that they've been successful and get a nice layup. So
yeah, that was Maddie Cassidy who began the back cut, and then she stopped, and I think that's why Flanagan didn't throw it to her, because she stopped. If she'd kept going, they'd had a layup on that one.
McPherson brings it up for the Rebels. Bobcats with the steal.
Obviously, the Bobcats not looking to push anything here. 1:20 left with a 22-point lead.
There's the back cut again, and another layup. They missed this one, but again, the Rebels just need to adjust. That's a pretty simple play. They're just bringing Flanagan to the top of the key and just back cutting the guard. So, pretty straightforward.
Yeah, maybe that's something the Rebels can try to work on.
Flanagan there with a steal. Again, wish we had all the stats. I'm going to get a double dribble. I'm going to say that she's within a couple of blocks of a triple double.
Yeah, she certainly has the rebounds and the points for it, I'm sure. 50, go ahead.
56 seconds to go, 42-20. Bobcats on top.
And that is Quinn Coolidge, who just checked in for the Rebels for the last minute.
Rebels, and this is number 23, Bailey Dunham. I think this is her second time.
Yeah, I think it is going to be her second time.
So she's doing a nice job.
I'd really like to see a couple makes here. Nothing drives a coach crazier than missing free throws.
Yeah, she's done a nice job of getting the ball inside and getting to the line. See if she can convert. That looks good.
Oh, it did look good, but it didn't go.
A little off to the left, but a nice looking shot.
As
there.
Coach Barry used to tell us, they call them free throws for a reason, boys. And in this case, girls.
Yeah, and I don't know. I know you had Coach Newell, but I know most coaches do prioritize free throws in some way. I know in middle school boys that Coach O'Connor, he would offer anybody a 6-pack of root beer if they went 10 for 10 at the free throw line during practice. So that was a coveted reward.
Anybody get it?
Not many. He gave out a few here and there, but not as many as he should have. But I think shooting 10, 15 in a row is good at times. I also think you need to practice shooting just 2 because it is different. It's much different to go to the line and just shoot 2 shots than stand there and shoot 10, 15, 20 in a row.
Absolutely, and one thing that's in a game is your cardio's up, your heart rate's up, you're running, and it's harder to get that under control. So sometimes in practice you simulate that by, hey, run a couple of sprints, go to the free throw line, shoot 2 or 3 free throws, run a couple more sprints, or that just tries to simulate that game atmosphere. You can be a great free throw shooter in practice and absolutely terrible in the game.
Yeah. So the Bobcats bring it up. They should just let the clock expire here. No, they will take a shot. Won't go. And that will do it. That will do it for the girls' varsity game. Richmond Bobcats 42, Telstar Rebels 20. And thank you to everyone for joining us. Again, I'm Danny Whitney, joined by Andy Whitney. Mike Pelletier joined us for the first half. Josh on the camera. We'll be back in about 15 minutes.
Do you want to do your unofficial scoring first?
Yeah, let's do some unofficial scoring before we sign off.
So I'll go ahead with the Rebels, and this is unofficial. I got 4 points for Haley Smith, 4 points for Addie Kimball, 2 points for Viv Charette, 2 points for Bailey Dunham, 4 points for Caddy Campbell, and 2 points for Lexi Indermule.
And for the Richmond Bobcats, 8 for Ella Brian, 3 for Emma Valley, 11 for Olivia Mason, and 18 for Darby Flanagan. And I'm missing a couple, so I apologize whoever had those 4 points that I'm missing. But anyways, we will be back here on Western Hills Access Television and YouTube in about 15 minutes for the boys varsity game versus the Richmond Bobcats. We'll see you in a few.